You haven't seen
Shame on
Hum?
me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Should we just do this sometime?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Akanksha, you wanna get out of here?
I'll sit under
You
the
give us some
table
alone
or
time, maybe.
something,
It's like the difference between
100%.
Mardaani and Force 2.
Yeah.
Oh yes, good subtle plug. I didn't want to get to that from Amitabh Bachchan, but now that you mention it,
I love Sandeep Reddy Wanga.
Sure.
I love Sandeep. No, let's not. Yeah. Okay.
Very convincing, both of you. Very nice.
Spirit. That's the spirit. जब तक मैं उसको अच्छे से स्टॉक नहीं कर सकता, मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा कि मैं होली में
I'm wondering if I should leave Bombay now or like wait for when this drops or let it drop. Yeah. Okay.
Just Priyanka Chopra.
So many life lessons. No, not that. But that you can fast forward. That you can fast forward. That's Shantanu singing to you. That's got nothing to do with it.
I should, yeah. Hyper nationalism and hyper masculinity is a sign of the times.
Damn!
Yeah. I think one of my like favorite things is like मैं तुम्हें जान से मार दूंगा और मैं तुम्हें जान से ज्यादा प्यार करता हूँ is intensity, but depends on how you perform those two.
Welcome to another episode of The Popcorn Hour. I'm Shantanu.
I'm Akanksha.
And we are here today with a very, very special guest. A guest who we've been pursuing for a long time, and he's finally obliged and decided to come and grace us with his presence on the show. I don't know how to describe him. I'll start with hot. No, I'll start with deeply attractive, deeply talented, extremely eclectic, career-building actor Tahir Raj Bhasin in the house.
Thank you. I don't know whether we should. Yes, we should touch on it. Yes.
I would advise you to move
Never
away.
washing. Never washing this.
Safe distance, but thank you. Very flattering
Stop
opening.
doing that. It's inappropriate.
I just touched his knees.
Lots of hand
it.
movement is happening under the
I'll
table,
keep my
which I
hands
am.
on
Yeah,
the
show
table.
us your
Just
hands.
be
so
Show
that
us
you're
your
not-
hands at all times.
At
Show
all
me
times,
yours.
yes.
Look at him. He's
Oh,
like fully tucked them away and all. Yeah? I just want to say I've followed Tahir. I followed your work aggressively back from your NDTV days to when you were in KLPD. I saw you, and of course in Mardaani, and I've seen you. Yeah, man, like ye kali kali aankhein. Every show you do, I'm absolutely obsessed with. I love the work that you do. Correct me if I'm wrong. Were you a Cornetto boy at any point? Did you ever do a Cornetto ad?
I did a Coke ad at some
A
point.
Coke ad, a
Yes,
very sexy
the
Coke ad.
Yes, I did. I did do that.
It
Yes.
wasn't as sexy.
Can you
as-
edit your
should I
words
calm-
out
I'll
before
calm
he
my-
runs out of this
I
room?
think what she's suggesting is like self-censor.
Yeah.
Censor. Okay.
Self-censor
okay, listen,
the
But I think were you a
flirtation little
Cornetto
bit.
boy is a perfectly good first question on a
Were
podcast.
you a Cornetto?
Were you a Cornetto boy?
There is
I'm
a
like, what?
Cornetto. You know, I would watch you eat a Cornetto. This is my
This man's not
Right.
able to control
This
his
is me
emotions.
force censoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why we are here today. Usually what we do with people is that we like to talk about this isn't so how has your journey been in the industry
Yeah,
type
it's
of
not
a
much.
show?
It's not
Bataiye,
one of
what is it
those.
like being an outsider?
Is
Yeah.
it,
How are you feeling?
How
Is
are you,
another
how are you
question.
feeling? Do you feel
How
no?
are you feeling?
We know a lot about you in terms of I know we are all from Delhi University in some capacity.
Oh
which is
yes,
really,
we
it
are.
really
Big
brings
shout
us-
out to DU. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
D
yeah.
school, Venki, Hindu, 3 DU kids in the house, and we have at least we have noticed of late that there is a certain trend of masculinity or toxic masculinity that has appeared in cinema, which glorifies a type of hero, and walking that tightrope has been perhaps across different generations. Walking that tightrope, there has existed a category of a leading man called an anti-hero. I have noticed you do it flawlessly in a couple of roles that I've seen, which we'll get to eventually. But that's what we're here to discuss. Not look at him. Yeah. I keep getting distracted. I look at you. Yeah. I'm imagining
scare
you're
the
there.
audience.
Now there. We're discussing the Bollywood anti-hero today.
Yeah.
And the evolution of the anti-hero over the years.
Yeah.
Akanksha?
Yeah. Like the different archetypes of an anti-hero.
Awesome.
And how that might have changed basis the movies we grew up watching in like the 80s and 90s versus today. We'll just discuss that evolution and what we feel about it, how we liked it, etc., etc.
Sounds amazing. I like where you picked up, which was to say that you've noticed this hyper masculinity in today's day, and I really feel that. Opening comments, just to let you know.
Let's go.
These are the prepared comments, then we can go
Yeah,
into
good
free
one.
flow improv.
Yeah.
So, pop culture is representative of what society is. Sociology, always. So, if I go back as far as recent history, so if you've got like the emergency, then you've got the angry young man,
Yeah.
you've got like the liberalization of the economy, you've got Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, DDLJ, you've got like the romantic, charming, but sometimes slightly flawed, cut to the early 2000s. You've got stuff like Dil Chahta Hai, which is like the millennial sort of coming of age. And then you've got like this hint of rebellion, which is the kind of cinema that I saw growing up. And I'm talking about like Oi Lucky Lucky Hoy, Dev D, you've got Hasil. Of course, like if you go back earlier to the 90s, then the stuff we saw in school and a lot of it in single screen theaters in Delhi was, you've got everything from like a Dil To Pagal Hai to Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And today's audience possibly won't understand. But for us, even watching stuff like that felt rebellious. Like it felt like this is not the kind of cinema we're used to seeing. And then the drastic shift that happened with when you've got like LSD and Shore in the City and Makbool and Company happening. It has always been represented, like the heroes have represented the state of the culture, the economy and the society. And I feel like hyper-nationalism and hyper-masculinity is a sign of the times.
Okay. That's
They're prepared, right? I'm
that's
out.
It, you're done.
Damn.
ChatGPT, give me the answer to this question.
ChatGPT would not even give you 1%.
1%.
I don't think we've ever succinctly opened an episode.
I'm a little intimidated.
That's strong. I don't know what. Be dumb, girl.
No, but I think, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like also, when I think of hero versus anti-hero, there was a phase when the line was a little more blurry than it is today. Right now, there's a very clear villain and hero. I feel like when I grew up watching, let's say, even an Amitabh Bachchan, which I started watching when I was maybe in my teens. Like I was watching that because my mom was a huge Amitabh Bachchan fan. So she was like, see Diwar, see Trishul, see these movies where he's not a morally black or white character. He's extremely grey, but you're still rooting for him. So some part of the anti-hero is that it's written in a way where you're feeling not apathetic, but you're feeling very, very sympathetic towards the character. But you're also like, I'm feeling uncomfortable that I'm rooting for this person. Like treading that line is very, very
because
difficult.
their lack of moral discomfort is coming from a place of usually of vengeance or or justice. Right? That's what's happening. Like you'll obviously, they're a product of their circumstances, which is also true of like, say, the next generation. Like when Shah Rukh Khan did his famous trilogy, which is Bazigar.
Dar.
And Anjam.
Anjam.
That's the one. The one people talk least about is Anjam, which has a
he was unhinged,
which had amazing music, by the way.
Very cute music.
But he
wasn't that white suit on the suitcase, jumping into the pool also, I think at some point. Yes.
You don't see him
whimsical,
going crazy.
It's petulant whimsical that turns into obsession. That's it unlayers the. It's like what that Miles Teller film. Spectacular Now. Miles Teller does this movie. It's done this movie called Spectacular Now, completely unrelated, which is about a coming of age, cool party boy, like a very wake up Sid ka Ranbir Kapoor. And what they do in the second half of that film is they just flip the narrative where they show that the guy who's doing wake up Sid is actually drinking every day. Has developed a dependency. So it's that. Take
so
something,
the flip side of
establish something with whimsy, and then go into the darkness of it. So the Badi Mushkil Hai guy, like on a wheelchair, like trying to kill Deepak Tijori or whatever later is scary.
But like picking up from that, I also think it's a lot to do with how much Indian society has opened up about mental health and addiction, and these subjects were taboo in the 90s, or at least they weren't mainstream conversation. And so now you can go into the psychology of the character and the audience gets it, and you don't necessarily have to promote it in that way, but the fact that you have direct feedback from the audience, they get like the subtext or what's like in between the lines. But coming back to what you said about where the lines blur between an anti-hero, I thought it would be great to first like define what an anti-hero is. Because a lot of people think of it just as like maybe a villain but coolly dressed, or a villain but approachable. I would like to see it as it could even be a hero who's flawed. It doesn't have to be a villain with likable qualities, but even a hero who's flawed could be described as
a Kabir Singh,
an anti-hero.
A Kabir Singh is an anti-hero. That's where I'm saying. So Wanga Men. Wanga Men are essentially anti-hero. Animal, of course, he's a far more of an anti-hero.
But I would say Amitabh Bachchan in Hum, or in Diwar. When the first half you see him collecting hafta from people, second half all of a sudden he's on this a trip of like meeting his long lost lover plus finding out who's kidnapped his.
I can't get over
that. What a
fucking
film!
love Hum,
You know,
dude.
You've
It's my-
literally spoken about
I
it all
speak
of
about it
last
in
month.
all
every
the time.
episode. I'm
Hum, Agnipath, like the original Agnipath.
the
I
story
just,
per minute in Hum.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there are like 700 beats.
Yeah.
It's two separate
That
films.
it's two separate films. Like
Yeah.
the second half, I can like. Do you remember the Govinda and Rajnikant Batman dance, where they do a dance to Batman and they have a fight sequence at the same time?
There's
Wait,
also the
what?
Rajnikant has a loaded gun.
Loaded gun.
Which the kid plays
Kid
with.
plays, yeah, and that's when Amitabh Bachchan catches her, and yeah,
Ay, banduk ke saath.
Yeah.
Not
but amazing. 3 hours and you never feel it. Like it's
I
cool.
love Hum.
I'll watch it.
Hum.
Shame
You
on
haven't
me.
seen
Shame
Hum?
on me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Should we just do this
Yeah,
sometime?
let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Akanksha, you wanna get out of here?
I'll sit under
You
the
give us some
table
alone
or
time,
something.
maybe?
Or no, I was also thinking like definition. When I was thinking of the definition of anti-hero, for me it felt like an anti-hero has some interiority, whereas a villain typically oftentimes doesn't have a very clear backstory or motivation other than just unhinged villainous behavior, right? Like an anti-hero has a more concrete, visceral reason for being what they're being. Like Amitabh Bachchan, for example, in Trishul.
Yeah.
He's like, my dad abandoned me. I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to go. I'm going to become richer than him. And I'm going to like topple his empire and all that. That's a very specific, very visceral reason to be rude and mean and like vicious to people.
It's like the difference between
100%.
Madani and Force 2.
Yeah.
Oh yes, good subtle plug. I didn't want to get to that from Amitabh Bachchan, but now that you mention it,
I'll go. Mardani, outright villain. Force 2, Shiv Sharma, father, abandoned by the government, disgraced by the government. Only person I felt for in that film. Sure, John, it's a very slick film. It's very, very, very slick.
Yeah.
it's funny,
Abhinay
but
Dio.
it's also a film out of the work that I've done that people don't often talk about, but it was a blast to shoot.
It was, and it's very slick. Like some of the chase sequences, there's the ones where they enter your apartment and they realize that you're out of it. And I just remember the whole film.
Yeah.
There's the terrace. You're doing parkour on terraces.
I do
somewhere
parkour
in
on
Europe,
terrace,
brother.
yes,
What
in
the fuck
Budapest.
is
That was the pitch of the film to me, is that we will be doing Budapest chase sequences on
So
rooftops
cool.
and you'll be doing parkour. And I was like, sign me on. and for trivia, like the DOP who shot that in Budapest, I think at the time was also shooting Die Hard 4 or something like that. So I was like, dude, like this is like some and they had some crazy stunt teams from South Africa that were in, and yes, it was Abhinay Dev who'd done Delhi Belly before that.
Best movie on Raw ever.
Hardcore
I'll say
opinion.
it.
That's a big
And
big benchmark. But
demonetization
thank
hit
you.
it, and
It did.
It helped the other movie on Raw that
And
just came
Raw.
out.
Yes.
It's just, I want to say, mat marna yaar.
Yeah,
at least
please.
mujhe.
But give the location of this studio, na, so it can be broken down. Yeah.
You want the building to be
We're
building to
renting
be
this
done.
place. You
It's
can't
a
do that.
real estate. It's real estate concerns are like,
Because it's a good area.
can't take the real estate out of a Delhi boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Builder floor bana denge ji yahan.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
But you were doing the comparison between Force
yeah, when
2
Madani
and Mardaani.
outright Walt was an outright trafficker with barely any redeeming qualities.
But there also, I feel like this is where Pradeep Sarkar came in, where he looked like your boy next door. Like he could have just been like
was
your
him.
guy in your Hindu canteen.
Cool
who was
guy.
like, yeah, the cool guy. Although that's such a
very-
like surface tag. But also, I don't know if you remember this scene, but there's a scene where a accomplice of his in the film is shot in an encounter, and he breaks down crying. And that's when you see the boy rather than the bad guy.
The Breaking
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
fan.
The Breaking Bad fan, exactly. He was called. His name was Karan, but he called himself Walt. And
I just got
yeah.
the chills because I remember there's one scene where he's inspecting. He's doing it coolly, so he's playing it like a cool guy, and he walks and he's inspecting the girls' teeth. Like, is it a good batch of girls that we're trafficking or not?
Man.
But like an attractive man doing this, and not.
It's not threatening for some reason.
No, it was it was more threatening, is what I'm saying. Yeah, Akanksha, tu pitwaegi.
Only you can do. Huh?
You're
Okay.
comedy. I'll do some sociology now.
No, but
Society, I see.
I'll put hand up. I have one more point.
Put.
Like the difference between an anti-hero villain and a hero is the anti-hero always has to face the repercussions. No, the anti-hero doesn't win.
Yeah.
The hero wins. The villain mostly dies. But an anti-hero is someone, and you don't feel bad when a villain dies. But when an anti-hero dies, and it typically happens, like even in Dar or whatever, any of Shah Rukh Khan's movies, Diwar also Amitabh Bachchan dies. So the anti-hero dies and you
Spoiler
feel
alert.
bad. Versus today's heroes who are anti-heroes but they're winning, right? Like Wanga's movies, for example. We're calling him an anti-hero, but he's rewarded in the movie.
Wanga fans come after her, please. Thank you.
So that
I love Sandeep Reddy Wanga.
sure.
I love Sandeep. No, let's not. Yeah.
let's not.
Okay. we
Very
edit this out.
convincing, both of you. Very nice.
Spirit. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say your definition. Like when you're, I don't know, what's your mental model for like what's an anti-hero versus a hero or a villain?
I have a take on this.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get
Give examples also.
called out in the comments because
do it.
they'll be like, this guy is simping too hard. But again, I want to use Bazigar as my frame of reference because my understanding of Amitabh Bachchan cinema of that era, Angry Young Man, I've seen it all, but I saw it when I was going to film school and all. It like my mom was like, get it out of the way type of thing. This I'm emotionally invested in. I'm invested in Bazigar, which of course has Shah Rukh Khan
Mr.
playing.
Khan.
I keep forgetting his name. In
Vicky.
Vicky is the first half, no?
Vicky is what he picks up from his friend who he meets at the club.
Yeah.
Where he sings Ye Kali Kali Aankhein. And there again,
Subtle plug, yeah.
completely avenged. See, two men are Vicky, let's say Vicky Oberoi or whatever he is, in Bazigar. And what his family goes through whatever Mr. Anant Mahadevan's character and his mother
Oh,
goes
damn, this is like big fan.
Yeah.
Anant Mahadevan's character goes through at the hands of Dalip Tahil.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense that this is a guy who's going to be flipping the owner of Bastion off a terrace and do whatever he goes on. Not talking about Mr. Kundra, the partner. And doing everything. And you're still there. He packs a woman in a suitcase. And I still am like, you
die.
get him. You get him.
Yeah.
You get him. He has to die at the end. But taking from Ye Kali Kali Aankhein, what's very interesting is the show titled after that song has, I think, Vikrant only.
Vicky, yeah. There's a lot of like subtle things going on. Yeah.
Little doffing your hat.
Reading
They're
between
doffing
the
the
lines.
hat a lot to that film, apart from the title track. Vikrant Chauhan is also doing two things, which is subverting the idea of the male
gaze.
being the object of desire,
Yeah.
done in a cleaner way than Ayya did. And sorry, Ayya or Prithvi Raj.
Should we just put a sorry disclaimer at the
Always
beginning of
we
this
do.
podcast?
Right, you're right.
Yeah.
And it does it, but also the shades that Vikrant Chauhan develops overall are absolutely anti-hero-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in a situation where you've subverted some type of feminist trope of a woman chasing after a man, like the Muneem ke ladke ke piche jaise, you know, jo Saif Ali Khan in his 90s would, like the Muneem's daughter in Ye Dil Lagi or whatever.
Yeah.
That bike jump between hills? Saif Ali Khan, do you remember that?
Vicky Oberoi type.
Vicky
only
Oberoi,
name
yeah.
would be.
This is the character.
Casual
Vicky Oberoi.
roofie. There used to be
Casual roofie, yeah.
Photo pe bas tera. It's a casual roofie song. His move on girls is he dances with them and roofies their drinks.
Yeah.
That's the Vicky Oberoi Ayash move.
Yeah.
But if you see Vikrant Chauhan, you see him turn into an anti-hero where again, of course, there is a certain amount of moral discomfort that he's also not experiencing. But he's been pushed to the limit by Mr. Saurabh Shukla or Mr. Saurabh Shukla's character for him
become
to
an
behave
anti-hero.
that way. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's a difference between the shades of anti-hero.
Yeah.
तुम पूर्वा की ट्रॉफी हो और जीतेगी तो वही
Of which, of course, the zenith is Wanga, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, it's just about someone who you root for emotionally, who might be his moral compass might not be the greatest, but you still want to root for him. The outcome, what you said earlier about does he die, does he not die, is he vindicated, is he not, it could be open to what the particular
Maker
series
wants.
of film is.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just someone who society would judge, but somehow you want to root for him. And I found a lot of the writing changing in American television in stuff like House of Cards, where Kevin Spacey's character is not perfect, but you root for that character, or Walter White in Breaking Bad, where, you know, it's he's selling drugs, but you still somehow want him to him to win.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, everything, I do it to protect this family.
And for me, perspective also matters a whole lot. And again, I'll give you one more Hollywood example. But if you watch The Dark Knight first, you'll think the Joker's the villain. But then you watch the Joker and you get to see his backstory, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
whose vantage point are you
Telling
seeing
the
it
story
from?
from.
It changes.
Yeah.
And that's where Bazigar, like that one backstory of how his father died,
Yeah.
it changes things. With Vikrant, that one thing of his childhood, how he never wanted to be friends with her, he was forced into him, gives you that into, okay, that's what his life, this is where he's operating from. That makes it
Yeah.
You had mentioned gangsters earlier. I remember that's very interesting because I had really thought about J.D. Chakravarti in Satya.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, kuch if you auteur theory and all in film school, they really spew some stuff on you about how gangsters come from nowhere.
I've heard this in interviews also.
Right?
Yeah,
Where a gangster ideally is a product of the city and his circumstance.
Yeah.
So a J.D. Chakravarti, you don't know what his mother,
He has no backstory.
He has no backstory.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
These are the
You don't know
nameless,
anything.
faceless victims of a city that become like this. So when they become anti-heroes, then they don't even bother to justify because they're at the mercy of a brutal city that is turning them into the people that they are.
Yeah.
But who I want to discuss more,
Kumatri.
she's saying,
yeah.
Bhiku Matre.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? My all-time favorite anti-hero.
Favorite anti-hero.
Not played by Tahir.
Right. Yeah.
Have to give that
Let's go.
disclaimer.
What are your views on
Bhiku
Bhiku
Matre?
Matre? Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you'll be
another
serious.
podcast.
You'll
Yeah.
be serious or
See,
not.
no, with Bhiku Matre, no, there are 2 or 3 different quick takes on him. One, Bhiku Matre, I think, paved the way for a lot of very, very solid character actors for them to pop up. Like Manoj Bajpayee himself did that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Bhiku Matre himself, the way he played that character, if it didn't pop the way it did on the big screen, a lot of people, like a lot of Pankaj Tripathis and a lot of other actors wouldn't have existed. Maybe an Irfan. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for someone paving the way with that.
Yeah.
Playing a character like that with that kind of intense likability. Obviously, he's a murderer. Obviously, he's a killer. He also slaps his wife, I think, multiple times. He beats up Shefali Shah, I think, who plays his wife in that film.
Yeah.
But when they're sitting and eating noodles and he's pulling her leg and he's teasing her about a lizard.
Buying her jewelry and all. It's very
He's buying
cute.
her jewelry.
Yeah.
You see them get humanized in a way that you're just like, oh, fuck, this is a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah, it also breaks the template of like you don't necessarily have to be a knight in shining armor to be liked. Like there's charisma that comes through based on how honestly you're portraying that part.
Yeah. And that they've now, I feel like that very sentiment is what is on
You're
cocaine
banking
now.
on the charisma to sell
Is on cocaine.
the anti-hero as the hero.
The anti-hero. Like I think you take that charisma, that little 10% of what Bhiku Matre's charm, and you then decide that I don't need to soften any of this as long as there's enough charisma. And that's how I want to say Ranveer Singh.
Sure.
Is that the name of the character Ranbir Kapoor plays?
It's something like that.
I
I
thought
don't
it
think it would be
was-
Ranveer Singh.
I think you've covered all the bases.
As
I think I'm,
Vanga,
like,
as
basically-
Vanga fanboys, you all should know that.
As a Manga fanboys. We are Manga
keep my mouth
fanboys.
shut.
Yeah.
But Bhiku Matre also becomes, you all can't even be serious
Legal
about
team.
You all can't be
Yeah.
serious. No, what I'm saying, like Bhiku Matre also, like you said, a lot of why he's a likable anti-hero is you see how domestic he can be also. Na? Like he's sitting and chilling with his daughter, his child daughter, whatever, sitting with his wife, they're sitting and talking. He's a human being. And then he goes to work and he's a different person. So it's a little bit of that kind of he's a good friend.
Yeah.
Like there are multiple layers to his personality. So you're rooting for when he dies, you feel very bad. Firstly, what is that death scene? It's crazy shocking, dude. You don't expect him to die.
It's like Leo and Departed. It happens that quick.
That quick, yeah.
It happens
And you're
that-
invested.
It's like,
You're
what
invested
the
in it.
fuck
Happens that quick. You're like, fuck, gone or what?
Yeah.
Like one of those.
There's nothing like hyper dramatic about that. He just dies and then the story just moves on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the
You
city
miss
just
him.
moves on.
Very not, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sociology.
That should have been the
That's the
tag.
commercial break.
I
Yeah.
feel like you're
This
really
is close
up.
bastardizing
Yeah.
sociology.
Ekjut, the theatre company, presents Popcorn Hour. Opening at Akshara Theatre next week.
There are no female anti-heroes, no? I'm that person. I'll talk about
You have to. You have to, please.
I'm trying to
Female
think. It's
Anti-female
either villain
actors.
or like, is there
You
female
just
anti-hero?
say it. Say Priyanka Chopra. Say
Priyanka Chopra and
Chopra.
Etraj, I feel like.
Etraj. Oh, is that one of her favorite? What about was Kajol in Gup?
Gopt, solid.
No, that was like all out villain, no?
No, but you're
Straight up
still like
villain.
her. No, but she's little Bazikar-esque in that, yaar.
What
Like,
has happened to
the
her?
What's her
motivation is-
backstory? I can't remember.
Her dad is the assistant manager or something like that to Bobby Deol's dad, and he's saying you can't be together just because you're not as rich as my son is, or as rich as I am.
Cannot kill a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, I just
I
feel
don't
like
think
Yeah,
you
but
can
yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan does it, it's fine.
Shah Rukh Khan's like
Anjam-
father was
Anjam
underneath.
was
Yeah.
Humiliated
reason.
mother was almost molested. It was higher
Anjam,
stakes.
Anjam, Dar, you would say he's an anti-hero. He's
Anjam
unhinged.
is a villain.
Dar?
Yeah.
Anjam is a villain.
Anjam, it's quite
डर
dark. Yeah.
प्यार ही तो करता है
तो same ना, Kajol Kajol.
प्यार ही तो करता है वो. Come on, stop it.
दोस्ती करता है
Same
क्योंकि जब तक वो उसकी
motivation.
दोस्त नहीं बनेगी yeah.
जब तक मैं उसको अच्छे से स्टॉक नहीं कर सकता, मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा कि मैं होली में
I'm wondering if I should leave Bombay now or like wait for when this drops or let it drop.
them come.
Yeah, okay.
You never know. Never know. Being problematic can just exponentially help people blow up the other way.
Other way, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what we
you
are
never
hoping
know,
for.
yeah.
No.
No,
No, yeah.
India's
So
got
I'm
all
popcorn.
okay with it being small and
Popcorn's
easy and
got latent.
comfortable.
Yeah, oh,
No.
shit.
We can't have a. We will not. We will not go
We
there.
can't be problematic.
No. But I think Kajol is a great example. I think for
Great,
me,
खुद को ही example को देख के great.
he gave the example.
I
Now you
gave
have
the,
to.
I gave the,
villain.
excuse me.
No.
It was a question more than an
Yeah.
example. It was like, is it not? Yeah. See how I balanced that.
Tabu and Makbul.
Oh, this.
Yes.
Tabu and
Tabu and
Makbul
Makbul.
is an anti-hero.
Yeah. Okay.
है ना?
Sure. Yeah.
So there
taboo.
are a couple of examples, but
Taboo.
lately nothing.
You just do your thing with Aitraz. We'll
Done
like
a thing
drink
with
our.
Yeah, we'll do it.
बोल दे अपना पूरा Aitraz. She loves Aitraz. You
She's
need to
got a
know
couple
this
of those. No, tell me more. Like,
don't
what's
like-
your
you've
this
seen
thing?
Aitraz?
A really long time ago, not enough to like
I would
fanboy
urge you,
over it 20
I would
years
urge you to
later.
watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
You must.
Cool.
Like,
It's a
drop
very layered,
everything.
very
If you
layered
have,
movie.
whatever
Yeah.
meetings in on.
Then
Fuck
cancel,
that
just
shit and
watch.
just watch it.
Just
Aitraz.
Priyanka Chopra.
So many
I
life
wanna
lessons. No, not that
Yeah.
part. That you can
Love
fast
to
forward.
you.
That you can fast forward. That's Shantanu singing to you.
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with it.
I should, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. We're all friends here.
Yeah, we're all friends, buddies.
Buddies, yeah, bros. Oh, man, what's up? Be you.
No, I'm done with
you're done
Priyanka
with your,
Chopra
But you're
and
done with
Aitraz.
Priyanka Chopra and Aitraz
Yeah.
and Tabu and
Yeah,
Makbul.
my hypothesis was invalidated.
Hey, listen, anti-heroes can exist. We seem to be seeking violence as a defining trait of anti-heroes.
Yeah.
What about anti-heroes who exist in non-violent atmospheres and ecosystems?
Oh, like what?
Like, as much as I would hate to do it, like Kank, Shah Rukh.
Right.
Kank Shah Rukh. Love him, my favorite
Yeah.
character. But anti-hero, no? Abhishek Bachchan
Tell
and
me,
Yuva.
like, since we're on the chart, what about Shah Rukh Khan in Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na? As in, what I mean is like, he's flawed. He doesn't get the girl. He doesn't know. He's not like, he doesn't have all the answers. Would you call that
He's not an anti-hero.
an underdog or an
Underdog.
Underdog.
He's more underdog.
Hmm.
He's more complexed.
Hmm.
He's
also very
adolescent
young.
complexes.
Yeah, he's very young to even have a moral like compass. No, he's like what is he? 18, 19 years old in that.
I had a
that
full
film,
moral
oh.
compass by that age.
What,
Yeah.
You still don't have one. What are you talking about?
What about Abhay Deol, Oi Lucky Lucky Oi?
Yes.
Anti-hero?
Yes.
Like doing all the wrong stuff, but you're still rooting for him because he's
Yeah.
like, charming and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sort of sly at the same time.
Yeah.
Heft is okay.
Yeah,
I think
itna
even
to-
Imran
yeah.
Hashmi has
the
played.
things you
remember-
have done.
do you remember the
Tahir,
scene?
You
No,
have
no, let's
trafficked
not talk
people.
about it.
on-
Yeah.
on
Oh yeah,
screen.
that way.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
Yeah, I was like, what does he know?
You
Yeah. But that scene in Oilaki where he enters a building and the security guard says, "Kahan ja raha hai?" and he says, "Kisi ne bulaya." Then he goes up, gets the music system, puts it in the car and drives off.
Some GK bungalow. Yeah.
चाई बुला
बुला रही है,
फोन
and
क्यों नहीं
the-
उठाते अपना
Yeah, exactly.
चाई जी बुला
But even Imran Hashmi has done no slightly anti-hero. Like Jannat
Oh, he's my
anti-hero.
favorite.
Is he?
Jannat anti-hero.
Jannat anti-hero.
Yeah,
Jannat
you're
definitely
rooting for him. He's a
anti-hero.
complete,
Avarapan
like-
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Jannat anti-hero. Raz to the Mystery Continues anti-hero.
Wow, I didn't realize you've been to the Imran Hashmi
He's a
film
fan.
film
I'm a
festival.
big one.
Yeah,
I'm a big one. I'll organize it.
you'll organize the film
Avarapan
festival.
2, day 1, I'll be there in the theater.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
सामने नितिन कक्कड़, पीछे मोहित सूरी का
मोहित सूरी.
टी-शर्ट लगा के.
Kalyug is another one where he's an anti-hero, no?
He is not that. Have you seen Kalyug?
I haven't seen
not,
Kalyug.
I'm talking about the new one. Okay.
No, so Aitraz and Kalyoga, my two watches today.
you're only
Have you guys watched the Odyssey?
I need to.
Yes,
I'm not
I've seen
getting
the Odyssey.
tickets
I've seen the
only.
You watched the
I've seen
Odyssey,
the
like this one.
Of course,
this
yeah.
one.
Robert
went at
Pattinson
6:30.
only.
The Rob.
Wow,
Okay.
that's
Yeah, Robert
you're the
Pattinson.
My
only
favorite
guy.
performance.
You're
My
the only
favorite
person.
performance.
Yeah, I thought he was great.
Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
performance in the
Don't
film.
spoil. I haven't seen.
And
But
not getting
must,
tickets.
but must do. Yeah,
when
it's
did you
quite a-
go?
the invite is
I went
better.
first day.
Oh,
I've seen
damn.
the invite.
I haven't seen the invite,
Very
but I
good.
want to.
Watched the
Yeah.
invite.
Another
Yeah.
good anti-hero-esque, if you think about it. Very flawed.
What
All
was
of them.
I saw this other Robert Pattinson film, small film, just two characters.
Drama. The
The
drama.
Yes.
Also
so
good.
amazing. Yeah.
But like most
She's
of
an
those,
anti-hero in that.
most of those films, little, I don't know if this is the right way. What is the production is called? A24.
A24.
थोड़ा blue balls experience होता है ना? Like it always,
Defined क्या
always,
मतलब?
always anticlimactic. Like there's a build
अच्छा,
up, build up,
वैसे,
build up, build up,
yeah.
and never really the full payoff. So those
I just really, I'm enjoying what's going on in terms of like, it doesn't have to be a event
Spectacle.
film. And
Sure.
the fact
Yeah.
that it's still working.
I like
is
drama.
great.
What I liked about drama was, in fact, that girl, the couple that judges them, their friends,
Yeah, she's
have done far
she's
more
terrible.
horrific. What he
Yeah.
himself has done, he's
Yeah.
bullied, he's cyberbullied a kid
Yeah.
out of
And
town.
she
And
left
that
the
one
kid in the
conversation
cupboard.
that they have on
Yeah.
the table where they all find out about each other is just.
She's actually
amazing.
She's
not
actually
done
not
anything.
done anything.
She's not done
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
comparatively. Yeah.
So we were discussing Imran Hashmi before we jumped to the very logical Robert Pattinson from
Some similarity between the two.
So I'm okay. So we're not going to double click on any of the Bhatt film universe
Yeah.
because that was a strong the only
Yeah.
strong anti-hero to come from there was him.
Was Imran.
Yeah, Ranjashri Sahi, shout out. And now we'll move on to I know,
that's
brother.
amazing, bro. He's a fanboy for real. Yeah, that was fun. It was complex.
One Venki boy played your brother, Paras.
Yeah, Paras, good guy, yeah.
Yeah, he played your brother.
Yeah.
He was in
So you watch the stuff, then you IMDb the cast, and you figure out where they went to
I
college.
watched
How
the
does
stuff.
this work?
I watch the stuff and I party at Bonobo. So I meet
You
everyone.
meet everyone.
I meet everyone.
Which is, Bonobo is where everyone
that
that's what-
walk of shame down the stairs
Down
when
the
you
stairs.
can't take the lift at night.
Yeah.
You know, do you know?
Bonobo, yes, yes.
Okay, you indulge.
Early years, yes.
Early years.
Yeah, you have to clarify. Yeah.
You had back in the day.
Back in the day.
Pre Samir Wankhede.
Timelines are like pre-Samir Wankhede and
Anything.
post. Yeah.
Anything. He was at Bonobo also.
BC. He's also like BC, no? One type of BC.
Arey yaar, Shantanu, yaar.
I like how the audience for Shantanu's joke is Shantanu himself.
I'm
Yeah,
enjoying.
yeah.
And
I'm
the three,
enjoying.
my mom will write.
Your mom will.
Funny,
Funny.
beta, proud of you. Don't abuse.
So cute. You're an anti-hero. What do you think?
Me? No, not at all.
No,
full
you're
hero.
full hero. What?
Yeah, no, comedian.
Funny anti-heroes also. I feel like, have you seen Kyunki Main Jhoot Nahi Bolta? Govinda.
She's
haven't.
single-handedly
What's wrong
dropped
with
the
me?
intellect of
Yeah,
this
you're talking about
conversation.
drama.
But
and all I'm
for
talking
someone
That's
who's
liar,
from
liar.
Bombay, I'm very impressed that you've gone into like this level of.
Kyunki Main Jhoot Nahi Bolta, it's come on TV a lot.
Yeah?
Like almost every day.
If
He's
you're
quite an
lonely,
anti-hero.
If you're a lonely person
If
with
you're
no
a
friends,
lonely- if you're a
with no
lonely-
friends.
Then you're watching Filmy पे मेरी भैंस को अंडा क्यों
Yeah.
आ रहा है in the afternoon.
Yeah.
तू विलेन ग्रेस तो नहीं देख रही थी?
No.
हाँ मैं भी.
If you're talking about funny anti-heroes, what about this? Like again, you'll say, was he more flawed and innocent? But Amir Khan from Rangila. No perfect answers. A little flawed.
No anti-hero. Hero.
No.
I like closer to, we can categorize him with Sunil from
Yeah.
Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na.
There's too much
Just a
innocence.
Tapori Sunil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-hero has to have something little more vicious, no? Like there needs to be something
Abhishek
vicious.
and Yuva.
Abhishek and Yuva.
Yeah.
Abhishek Bachchan in Yuva.
Yeah.
Fantastic, which is Madhavan in Yuvan or whatever. The
Sure.
the other one. That character is
Abhishek,
amazing. Completely ruined Rani Mukherjee's life. Cannot get himself out of. Again,
But you're rooting for him somehow.
victim of a city, victim
Yeah.
of his brother, victim of the crime that Bombay, Calcutta puts you into.
But for y'all to root for someone, and this I want to know even as an actor, like does he necessarily have to be likable in the like good guy sense?
No.
No, I was
Or, like,
rooting
this
for
thing?
Abhishek only in Yuva
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most. I was rooting for
I
him.
have to feel like I have to root for the anti-hero if I understand what his motivation is. Then I'm with him.
Yeah.
Even if his actions are vicious, I'll forgive it. Like in Bazikar, I don't even clock that he killed that innocent receptionist or that friend.
Suitcase में जिसको फेंक देता
I
है.
forget that. Like half
because it's
after
Shah
the
Rukh.
death. I don't remember that he
Speak
did.
without of a Shah
he
Rukh
tossed.
character. Without the Shah Rukh goggles have to come off Akanksha.
I'll
Yeah.
think of another example. No, but Yuva also. I feel like I need to
Abhishek
understand.
goggles?
Could be.
Okay.
The dance moves are a vibe. I need to
I like
understand.
Abhishek Chaube's films, like Ded Ishqiya, Udta Punjab. Like I would call like, and it's interesting to me to bring this up is because then your entire palette is sort of grey.
Yeah.
You know, in Udta Punjab, like who's right,
Who's the hero?
who's not. And so you're not judging it from good guy, bad guy. Am I invested in the rightness of what he's doing? It's just a journey like in Breaking Bad or Joker or any of the Hollywood examples we've thought of a flawed character who somehow, because of the way it's written and he's driving the plot of the story, you're rooting for.
Yeah. But even in Breaking Bad, like in the finale episode, he does sacrifice some part of his some part of himself for Jesse.
Yeah.
So there is a redemption arc to an anti-hero also. Na? Like there's their vengeance and their motivation, whatever, but they supersede that for the benefit of somebody else. Like even in Bazigar, he actually falls in love with, can't get over Shah Rukh Khan, he actually falls in love with Kajol.
Which is why he has
There's
to
a moment
die.
of that.
That's why he has to die.
Yeah.
Because if he falls in love with her, there is no potential future that they share together.
Yeah.
That's
With a
also
film
why
like
he
Bazigar,
needs
I
to-
feel like the minute you see the mother, you're sold. Like you know that okay, this is the emotional anchor of the character, and this is why he's sort of doing that.
Yeah. I thought even Ishaqzadeh was a slightly, like when I watched it initially, I didn't like it as much, maybe because at that time my brain was very slightly more black and white, where I was like, but he just used her. He used Parinithi's character.
He's so good in it, dude.
But the flip in the second half is very interesting because even he does fall in love. He realizes he's a product of the masculinity he has learnt in his family.
Parma.
And he realizes how flawed that is, and that's made him such a terrible person. And then through love, he finds the nicer part of his personality, right? Like he unlearns his masculinity, which is extremely violent. And he becomes so that I find Parma an anti-hero. I don't think he's a hero at all. She is still a heroine, but he is definitely an anti-hero in my mind. Because I rewatched it and I really liked it. I think it's a much more, it's not given enough credit, that movie. It's a good
Ishaqzadeh?
movie. Yeah.
Have you seen Ishaqzadeh?
I guess at the screening, but a long time ago.
This is how
Rewatch.
the famous people tell you they're famous.
Yeah. Oh,
At
shit.
the screening.
Yeah. No, but I
You
mean
know,
my.
you know Book My Show?
No, what is it?
You know you have to go phone.
It's about like
Show me your phone,
is
I'll
it
just
a
put my
li-
number
is
on
it
your phone.
yeah.
I put my number on it.
Is it a library kind of thing?
It
No,
is
that
like
that
Blockbuster.
wasn't like a subtle name drop. It's just that the film that I debuted with was also produced by the same
Shant, of
studio
course,
that
of course.
produced Ishaqzadeh.
Oh, yeah.
So
Of
yes,
course.
Small studio, very quaint
it's
boutique
quaint
studio.
boutique studio.
Boutique studio.
Just close to Aramnagar.
Just यहाँ वीरा देसाई में. Just filter copy के office के सामने.
बिल्कुल. So वही वाला. Yeah.
But I have like slightly interviewer question. Okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Signature
Yeah.
joke in the house.
little
Yes.
bit. I'm like
Aja.
really want to know
Let's
this.
do it. But can
Because
you
I've
get
not
your
spoken to an actor
entertainment reporter voice
She
on?
does.
Yeah.
Dude, you are now cosplay this
Fuck,
up.
very scary. I'm not an actor. I don't know how to
Akanksha,
do
do
this.
it, yaar. Just cosplay.
No, I will be Akanksha.
Okay, do it.
Which is
Sorry
a
about the performance
Akanksha
pressure.
is a performance.
And a bad
So
one.
That is-
My
that is
bad. A very bad one.
No, but I'm asking like when you are reading a script or whatever you say yes to,
Yeah.
when you're reading a guy who's not very likable, it's a very typical question.
Yeah.
You have to like the person you're playing over, even if
Yeah,
it's
this
like...
is, I mean, it's a more an acting school answer that I'm going to give you. You're taught never judge your character. You can't judge it from, like, I can't use Tahir's moral compass to judge it. You have to go by the reality of that character in that moment. And so when you're playing Walt in Mardaani, you're handling a family business and you look at it as like anyone would. He's just like a sharp entrepreneur, businessman. You don't judge in that moment as the character. And it's the same with Forced to stay with like the reality of the moment, and the audience will connect with the character. That's what makes it human. If you judge him saying like, today I'm going to play a bad guy, it's going to come across as
What about
hammy.
Sham?
Yeah, you have to also name you're talking about Manto.
Of course.
Right, yeah. I was like, can you realize
Because
that?
that's the closest to you.
Yeah.
That's an actor.
Actually, I would say Loop Lapeta was quite close
Oh, of
to
course.
who I was. Yeah.
Akash Bhatia. You would say you're closest to that character? That was a very fun. That's a very
That was
goofy, fun.
yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
So
levity
like
to that guy.
people who would know me like in school or college, or because also you have to realize that your perception of someone is, if you're seeing them just as an actor, is all the work that they've done.
Yeah.
You don't have this gravitas award that's coming across right
In
now.
Sham.
Is it
This is a trick question. I don't know the right. I don't know the right
There's no
answer.
right answer to that question.
Yeah, I know. Well, who says no? I don't have gravitas. Yeah,
But you know, like, sorry to cut this, whatever you all have going on. But
whatever he has going on. Yeah.
Come on, I
no, but like when you say I don't judge, because I've heard this, of course, a lot of actors who
Yeah,
are trained
sorry,
say
stereotype
this. No, but I
answer, but-
actually want to understand what does it mean to not judge? Like when you're, how do you do that? Like when you're shooting, do you tell yourself that, or do you create a backstory for yourself? What in your
A
head?
backstory.
Okay. You have
And
to create
also
that.
and also tell
How do you do that
yourself.
for Mardaani? That's crazy. Like it's a fully unhinged character, no? How do
Yeah,
you
it
justify
is.
it?
And I think the challenge was to play him like he
Normally.
thinks that he's totally, and so that's where the no judging comes in. So you literally have, what does he believe in? What is his history? How does the world treat him? How does he treat the world? And so you make it up. It's like, it's fun because that's where your imagination comes into play. You're given like these, whatever, 120 pages, and then you get to write this backstory that no one will ever see.
Oh,
and you
okay.
can't necessarily
that's
like mention it in dialogue. It's just something that you know. So yeah.
Oh wow,
it's
that's so
interesting.
fun.
An
Fun being an
actor's
actor.
empathetic take on the subtext of a character they're playing can turn a villainous role into an anti-hero.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
But
absolutely
you
right.
also like so much of that is in your head and comes out only in performance. It's
But
not
it'll reflect
explicit.
there. Yeah.
Very cool.
It'll
Yeah.
reflect there. I would say a different actor would make
do it differently.
would make force to would walk out not rooting for
Sure.
Shiv Sharma or his
Yeah,
father's
and
redemption.
that's where I would argue like good acting comes in, because if you get just someone who's like playing the same part without that lens, it's a lens that you're wearing to see that I see it with this tint now.
Yeah.
Is that where you see different shades?
Very cool.
And some of my favorite actors, whether it's a DiCaprio or a Shah Rukh Khan or an Irfan Khan, can play intensity on the spectrum where it's like you can play really romantic or really obsessive at the same thing. One of my like favorite things is like, मैं तुम्हें जान से मार दूंगा और मैं तुम्हें जान से ज़्यादा प्यार करता हूँ, is intensity, but depends on how you perform those two, because
it
you're
comes
playing.
from the same place also, no?
Yeah.
It
Akanksha
does.
has that theory about anyone who's capable of being
Oh, yeah. My theory is that if a person is protective of you and that protection comes in the form of violence, they can be violent towards you also.
it's a
I haven't studied enough sociology to
Like Kabir
comment on that.
Singh, if
Yeah.
he's like, मैं कोई तुझे हाथ नहीं लगाएगा. That violence can be directed towards the girl also.
Because
Because
that
the trait
exists
is
within you.
violence.
Yeah.
The trait is violence. It
Yeah.
depends on how you're channeling it. But more often than not, you'll be violent towards everybody, depending on when a certain situation triggers that reaction out
picks
of
a
you.
lot of bar fights.
Right. Yeah.
She gets
I'm
like
that guy
very
in
like,
Bonobo.
Yeah.
she's at Woodside where she's just
Yeah, what's going
The
on?
next table.
She reminds me of that, like, I don't know whether I'll get a second date or not, but at least he knows that the sociology of what it takes to...
But it's fun being an actor now that I'm realizing what y'all do is fun. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I remember watching some Rajkumar Rao interview where he said when he was working on Omerta, he was watching something on TV. And he was like, I felt it was justified. Like the acts of violence
Yeah.
were justified. Because he's like, I was so into it. And I internalized the justification of that character so hard that when I watched real news also, I was siding with a violent group. I'm trying not to use words that'll get us in trouble. But yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Which is like insane, dude. How do you all have friends?
So, ye Kali Kali Aankhein is actually the first time when I did a season 2 of something that I had been in. And a lot of people at that time asked me similar questions of, oh, so do you now go home and like rewatch season 1 in order to get back into it? And honestly, I don't. It's because if you've created the template well enough of the backstory, then it's like meeting an old friend. You don't necessarily need to go back to, hey, remember when we met? You just almost pick up, if you know them well enough, you pick up where you left off.
As we close this conversation, do we want to throw out our favorite anti-hero characters or anti-hero recommendations, if we all have one, that we give to the audience and then close this lovely conversation as much as it pains my heart.
Yes,
And
for
that's
sure.
a dramatic look right there. It's fun.
Tahir can go first.
Yeah, go. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Are we doing only in India? Or?
Anything.
Okay, cool. From Indian films and Bollywood, I would say films that I grew up on, I thought Dev D was one of them, where he's like flawed and moral compass you can question at times. Oi Lucky Lucky Oi, I would say Irfan Khan in Hasil. What about Shah Rukh Khan, Bazigar? If you haven't seen it, like your education is incomplete. Hollywood, Breaking Bad to start with, Fight Club.
Oh, yeah, that's...
For sure. And House of Cards, if you still haven't seen it, season 1.
Both the wife and the husband.
Yeah, both of them.
Very good characters.
Yeah. The opening monologue of House of Cards starts with him killing a dog. Do you remember
It's
that?
the worst.
And you want to know what happens in the next episode. Your automatic reaction isn't...
Only other place it's been done is Karan Wahi kills a dog in the.
shit,
You know
what
what?
are
You know
these?
what?
What are you doing?
No, tell me more. I thought
What
this
are
was going to
you?
be the closing. We are now
Sacred
entering
Games
into
are
Karan Wahi kills a dog in the cold open of Sacred Games.
I was
He
wondering
throws
Sacred
Elna's Narosi's dog
Oh,
off.
Some
the-
hectic cocaine and all
That
he's
was
doing in that show.
Yes, I
Good
remember
coke.
that.
Stop it.
Good cocaine.
Yeah, good.
And what a
stuff, I'm
show.
sure.
What a show.
Great one, yeah.
Great blow, great show.
My favorite. I feel like in a lot of ways Dawn, like the OG Dawn is a
Yeah.
little bit of an anti-hero. Shah Rukh one thoda less than that. But OG Dawn, I think for me would be one of my favorite. Definitely Breaking Bad. I actually watched it very late in life. I watched it last year, which is like, again, shame on me.
No, but interesting question here. Did it hold you? Because a lot of people who watch it 10 years later complain
me.
because of attention spans that it's like too slow for
I
them.
couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
I literally saw like 6 episodes a day. I couldn't
Yeah,
stop watching
I think
it.
it's phenomenal.
One of the best character, right? Like just, it captures you completely. I'll watch it again. I feel like I'm obsessed with Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Done. So I got to do Etras and you.
Yeah. I'll do Breaking Bad again.
Yeah, we'll chat.
I have to. Yeah. You will?
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
You've done
That's it. I
yourself
don't
in
need to give any records out anymore. Thank you, Tahir, for saying that we'll chat later. I'll do my 2 records.
Yeah.
My 2 records are both characters played by Fahad Fasil. In Joji and Avesham. Avesham, he does
Joji.
like
Yeah,
funny
amazing.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Joji, he does some straight up Shakespearean,
Yeah.
like amazing anti-hero. Fahad Fasil, if you haven't seen anything that he's done, go watch Malayalam movies. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tahir,
you,
for coming, man. This was a
Tahir.
very,
Amazing.
very
My pleasure.
cool, lovely chat that the two of us have had. And we would love to have you back whenever you have time from all the cool shows that you're shooting and films that you're doing and things that you're up to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And you can look into that camera and tell them to subscribe to the Popcorn Hour.
You may.
Do I have to say like, share, subscribe?
Do the whole thing,
Please
brother.
subscribe
Do the
to the Popcorn Hour.
Cut.